and get started. Welcome to another night of The Forsaken. Hopefully you've had a decent Monday thus far. Welcome to Madbird Streams. So let's get right into a quick summary from last week. All right, so this is for episode 31. We're now on episode 32. Our adventurers have made it to the Torchlight Committee and Aurelius. But before they can be accepted into the committee's ranks, they had to first pass a very special test, one that will determine if they are truly committed to what Aurelius has asked of them. With these tests, they had to choose between familiarity or uncertainty, comfort or the possibility of hurt, what they've lost or what's ahead. Personal secrets were revealed and their grip on reality was tested. But were the things that they saw pure illusion? Wow, I cannot speak tonight. Premonitions or just wishful thinking. All right, that's my very stumbly summary. So I guess we'll find out tonight what's next on The Forsaken. All right. So, oh, cool. Awesome. So glad to hear, Melissa. So we'll go ahead and start. So we ended last week's session with everyone back from their tests, and you were back in the printing press room, where everyone had worked together throughout the entire night to send notes to the other, to your other party members, in their own individual tests to try and get them to not stay where they were, but to continue on with the party and with the Torchlight Committee. And they were all a success. So congratulations. And everyone was back in the printing press room, with the Dragonborn that kind of was the head over these proceedings. And she kind of, whisked you away, told you to go ahead and go back to your rooms, and everyone went back to their sleeping quarters. Or she might have snapped her fingers. I don't remember. So every one of you kind of slip off into this state of dreaming once again, after having this experience with these tests and with, working together. And then, Tegan, you find yourself, just you, all of a sudden, as if, it's almost like as if it's another dream. You find yourself in this beautiful green kind of enclave with these like rocky cliffs around you. There's a waterfall that's cascading down, beautiful green grass, blue sky above with fluffy clouds, birds chirping, a very peaceful and serene setting. You look to your right and you see Aurelius sitting in fluffy egg clouds, yes. You see Aurelius sitting in a very natural chair. It's almost as if a tree has grown out from the ground and has formed itself into a chair. And there's another one, there's a little like end table that looks like maybe about the same, like almost like a stump, but it almost looks like, again, the tree just kind of formed this structure. And then there's another chair that's kind of about 5 feet from his, both angled to each other. Aurelius sits in the chair, his wings out, I think black wings. Ah, Tegan, please, sit.
I will sort of take it all in, look around and sort of just, saunter over and
You
sit
feel
down.
very at peace in this place. So you sit down in the chair?
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like some tea? Water?
Coffee, if it's available.
you look down to your right at the table, and there is a coffee there. Do you need anything with it? Aurelius asks.
After what I've been through, I think black would be appropriate.
Good. So, let's talk about what you went through. The test. Uh, any questions? That's what we're here for.
Um, I basically understand the reason. I mean, you want to test our resolve to continue on
Yes.
or go back to a life of a simpler life, but I mean, I know that's not possible. Um,
Yes. Failure was an option if you had chosen to, not follow our guide back out of uh, the dreamscape, but you would have woken back up in your bed here. But we would have known that you could have been tempted with, memories or an easier life. But to be honest, the tests are all your own, of your own making. We have a way of kind of a spell of sorts that kind of dig in there, but what happens isn't of our own making, it's yours. Things from your own memories, your own remembrances, hopes, dreams. So what did you... Do you have any other questions for me or anything that you need explained, or... I thought it best to have a one-on-one conversation with each of you that way, in case you didn't feel comfortable asking in the group.
um, Part of my experience has just been I've done some things in the past that weren't exactly um, moral,
Sure.
but that was part of my. I mean, I don't. I don't. I mean, motivations were my motivations, but um, what I've come to is that I want to have a positive effect. I I've seen enough corruption and just want for just greed and avarice and it's it's not limited to any class or any it knows no prejudices. Evil affects everyone,
That it does.
and and I've come to that I want to fight that.
Very noble of you, Tegan. And
Well,
you can find a place to do that here in the Torchlight Committee. That's pretty much why we're here. We don't always get everything right. We can't save everything or everyone, but we try to do what we can.
I hope so. I think you know let's put my I want to put my cards on the table here. I have maybe some other people who aren't fond of me for leaving their groups and not avowing to their methods, and want you to go into this knowing that there may be a time where I have to address that.
Absolutely. All of you are free to address your own concerns or do what you have to, as long as it doesn't, as long as you're not directly contributing to the Shigas efforts, then if that happens, we'd have a conversation, but we're not looking to limit you to follow your own path.
Okay, I felt like I had to get that out.
Absolutely. Do you worry about these people tracking you?
At times, I know they're out there, and I know now that they know I'm out there. So they're,
Understandable.
one's a disappointment. I thought he brought me up to entrain me, and I thought he was of the same mind, but it turns out he's seems like he's just in it to run a thieves guild and nothing more. So I find that to be a disappointment.
Yes, well, sometimes keep in mind that sometimes people are driven to be a certain way or be a certain person by their circumstances or things that have kind of hit them in life. It might not be that that is who he is, but just who he needs to be to survive.
That's how I find myself here.
Well, maybe, who knows, maybe in the future you'll have a positive influence on him. In fact,
so.
I feel, and it becomes really still for a moment, Tegan. I feel that you will. I feel that sometime in the future, whether it's near or far, that you will find a way to help him.
I hope so.
Okay. Anything else that you need before?
No, I think I'm actually kind of excited and relieved to have found this place.
I'm glad, Tegan. I will send you back, and in the morning there will be breakfast, and we'll send you off to the library. Well, maybe. I guess it all depends on what your group wants to do. Anyways, I will see you later. And in that instance, you find yourself, honestly, like waking up in the morning is the next thing that you kind of come into consciousness to. We'll go over to Gerbil. Gerbil, as you lay your head down onto your pillow, you feel yourself drifting off into that sleep again, and at one moment immediately find yourself in the same as I explained, the screen, small kind of enclave between the mountains, moss growing on the rocks, a waterfall, kind of a small waterfall kind of roaring off to your left. And as you look to your right, you see Aurelius sitting in the natural chair, with the other chair kind of cornered to that one, with a little table in between. Gerbil, please sit down. He'll stand when you come over to the chair, Gerbil. Please sit down. Do you need a coffee or a tea or some water?
I'm fine.
Okay. He will sit down in his chair, and he looks a little, probably more serious than you saw him the day before. Maybe except when he was talking about the little bell jars with the planes in them disappearing. Gerbil, you've had quite the experience. And I'm sorry it was so hard on you.
Did you make those tests? Did you make those worlds?
We have a way to kind of dig into your consciousness, to your subconsciousness. But beyond that, what's there and what happens in the test is up to your own fears and hopes and dreams.
Right. Right.
Are you sure you don't need anything?
I just
Even alcohol?
time.
Get you a whiskey?
Sure. No, Addie never liked me drinking, so.
Understood. So, I wanted to meet with each of you individually to see if you had any questions about what happened, about the test. If you didn't feel comfortable asking in the group, I wanted to give each of you an individual chance to ask those, or inquire, as it were.
Why us? I mean, you said you were watching, you were keeping an eye on us, but I mean, we haven't really done much of anything to be thought of. I mean, I'm only here because I was following Addie's path.
Yes.
It's just I just don't understand why us. We're a bunch of screw-ups, and as the test for last night appeared, we all have deep emotional problems.
As do we all, Gerbil. Sometimes it's not what you've done, but what you're capable of.
I still don't know why I deserve that chance.
Triple, I don't think many, or at least many who matter, think that they deserve the good that comes to them. Maybe some do, and maybe they're right in thinking that, but there's a lot of people out there who don't think that they deserve something to be offered to them.
But a lot of people don't destroy cities by accident.
Yes. And there were a lot of things happening in that situation. Not all of them, or really only a handful of them, were that had to do with your group. Did you put the mages in the city?
No.
Did you put them in their cages to power the city?
No.
Your group was trying to do a good thing, and unfortunately, a very bad thing happened, but all of us have a failure that we can look back on, and the best of us, those who thrive and those who find a way and make some good in this world, or worlds, I guess, are the ones that can look back on them and learn from them. See that they were a mistake, which you do, and move on from there. We would be having an entirely different conversation if you were obstinate that your group had nothing to do with it. But that's not the conversation I'm having with you.
I don't know. I guess I'm just... It's in my nature. I'm paranoid.
You've had
all this...
Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
All this seems so... I mean, we've had stumbles and stuff, but I don't know. It just seems... I don't know, not convenient, because we destroyed a city. It's just... Was Regina part of Torchlight? Was this all part to lead us to the Torchlight Committee? Or was this all just some weird chance?
Well, I mean, Addie was a part of the Torchlight Committee. You said yourself that you followed her, that she was part of the reason why you're,
Yes. I don't. I mean, like I know where why I'm here and how my path leads here. It's just I don't know. And just that Gorbin's tied up all in it. I don't know. I don't.
You've
I don't
had,
want to sound ungrateful. Just
you don't. You've had a lot of bad things happen to you. It's understandable. But there's good to come, Dribble. It's not all bad.
um. One more question, just about Gorbin.
Yes.
You had said when we first met that something along the lines of Shiga has a way of controlling people's desires or something of that sort. Is that through false gods?
Well, I wouldn't put it past them to use false gods as a way of working their way into someone's, to influence them. But it's a possibility, but there are endless possibilities as to what the Shiga will do to get a hold into someone's life.
I guess what I'm asking, but you probably don't know. I keep hearing that Gorbin has been referring to himself as Hrugek, the one of the two bugbear gods.
Yes.
And if he really, like, that was just a joke we had as kids, the nicknames the elders gave us, just we were the images of the bugbear gods, brother god. It just, if he really has become that, I don't know. I just want to know if they lied to him to think he was.
I mean, again, it's a possibility. But also, it's a possibility that he is hanging on to that part of his past. You think?
I don't know. Part of me wouldn't have thought of anything, but now that we've had a lot of run-ins with crazy people about this the Great One, and we already know one city that the Great One's a sham. It's what's his name and his sister just doing their thing in the city, but that's not what they're doing in Bornheim, obviously. I don't know. It's just
yes, what John is doing is definitely interesting. But he has a good heart and he's helping that city. And helping his sister. And maybe one day we can convince him to be on our side of things, but he's obstinate and stubborn. But Bornheim, yes, the Great One is an old god that hasn't been heard from in years. They might be serving a dead god, or maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe I'm just thinking too hard about all this. My goals were simple up till now. Go bury a head in some sunflowers and kill a brother who I thought I was already killed. And now planes are disappearing and there's gods and sacrifices. And maybe I will have that tea.
You look to your right onto the table and there's a tea there. If you take a sip, Gerbil, it's one that you like.
It's very, very nice. Tastes like dew of the mountain.
Nice. You'll see Aurelius kind of lean forward a bit, Gerbil, towards you. Intent, like, with an intent gaze. Things will get better. I hope you believe that. She's proud of you.
I hope so.
And you'll get a chance with your brother. That's both that's a warning, but also you'll get a chance to speak. Just be prepared, Gerbil, that it might not be pleasant.
Oh. I have no ambitions that it will be pleasant. You can trust me on that. I just want to know what I'm dealing with. I mean, the brother I knew, I thought died 14 years ago, and the brother he knew, he thought died 44 years ago. So
I can tell you this, that I'm sure that there's a part of him that regrets some things. Whether that will be a step towards any sort of hopeful change in the end, or just for your own acknowledgement. But your happiness will come, Tribble. I know that. Anything else that I can answer or...
I'll look at him. What the hell are you?
Well?
Sorry, that's rude. What are you, sir?
Oh. He'll kind of chuckle. Have you never seen an ASMR before?
Not unless you're in the Feywild and I forgot.
You have time forgotten in the Feywild.
Yes.
Sorry,
A lot.
I'm not entirely privy to everything that the spell digs up in your subconscious.
Well, that's...
For how long?
I mean, me and Addie were in the Feywild about 10 years. Probably only remember a third of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the fun of Feywild travel.
Have
Wish
you
I
been
had
back?
one of your pearls. No.
Have you considered going back?
Not... Well, to be honest, I haven't thought in past a field of sunflowers, to be perfectly honest.
If you ever want to, I might have a way to help protect you from any memory loss during travel.
Or
I
fancy
can't-
pearls, huh?
Oh, well, it's a little more... I have a connection to the Feywild, so I can help ease the transit, unlike here to the demi-plane.
Huh.
So if you ever decide that you want to take a trip back and, I don't know, see if anything comes to mind once you get there, just let me know. There may be Torchlight work for you to do there as well.
Right.
It is a very dangerous plane, so be prepared.
Oh. Trust me, I have the scars that I don't remember getting to remind me of that. So.
Okay. Shall I send you back? Are we done?
Yes, thank you for the duty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the next moment you find yourself waking up in the morning. We'll go to Pixrin. Pixrin, as you are, find yourself in that kind of dream state again, and all of a sudden, snap of the fingers, you find yourself in this beautiful, serene, green enclave between the mountains, the waterfall to your left, and then you look to your right. Birds are chirping, slight breeze. That's strange because it's in between two mountains, but here we are. And then you look to your right and you see Aurelius sitting in the natural chair with the other chair near him. Pixrin, welcome, please. And he'll stand as he motions towards the chair. Please, sit down.
It's another one of your tests.
No, the test is over.
Ew. So go and sit down
Would you like some tea, coffee, water, whiskey?
Oh, I'll take the whiskey, please.
You look to your right on the table and there's a glass of whiskey there.
Ooh.
One of the best tasting whiskeys you've ever tried.
I actually have a glass of whiskey on the counter.
Wonderful. So, he'll sit down and look intently at you. How did the test go? Do you have any questions? I apologize if it was difficult. We have a spell that digs into the subconscious, but beyond that, it's kind of up to your fears and your hopes and dreams and all that sort of stuff. I apologize if it was uncomfortable.
I guess the point was to make it uncomfortable, so it was a little rude, I might add. Just a little bit.
Understandable, and I apologize. But you saw the truth.
Yeah. Didn't like it. I wanted to stay.
It was, from the small pieces that I saw of it, it was very inviting. Have you been to many temples of Elistray?
Just not very many. Just the one after I left. I'm gonna have to find another one. Why didn't nobody else? So I couldn't understand. Why did my parents in the thing not see him? I don't.
Not see Varus.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I'm not exactly sure.
Or even know. Even know that he. Yeah, it was like they didn't even know that he existed.
It could have been wishful thinking on your part, Pixrin.
I won't lie about that.
I mean, I don't know all of it, but it seems like he was a very menacing I can tell that he's a very menacing character to your...
He's not part of the community, is he?
No, I can tell you that. In fact, I'm pretty sure that this Shiga has their claws in him. And have for quite some time.
It would make more sense.
Maybe even your parents, too. Aren't they after you as well?
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. Parents should not turn on their children. There was something that was interesting. Geneva pointed me out to it, that Varys almost seemed like it was outside of your... the test of the whole dream.
Like he was on the outside looking in?
No, well, maybe, but not like that he was watching you sleep, but that he was acting on his own rather than being summoned by your subconscious.
Did he find a way to get into my head during this test?
No, I don't think that's possible. He might have been able to see through the spell, but he can't... There's not a way to see the location of this place, so he won't know that you're here. He won't be able to locate you. But he is... I think I did tell you that he is on this plane. We're just unsure where. He has a way of staying hidden that's a little uneasy to us, to be honest.
You think he might be using one of those little time machine thingamabobbers?
The thing is that the sand that is used to create them makes it almost impossible to track. So it's hard to... I mean, unless a tracking spell is placed directly onto the object, but just thinking of the object and being able to track it through magical means has proven difficult. So I'm unsure. In fact, that was something I was going to talk to your group about in our next steps, is what you wanted to do. Was that would be a possibility, would be to track down some of these, or as many as we can, these time-altering devices. But Wilhelm did lose his in the Underdark, and it was in pursuit, or not pursuit, but he was investigating Varys and what he was up to, because he was alerted as that the Shiga might be influencing him somehow. So it is possible he might have Wilhelm's device.
Yeah, I've been kind of avoiding him for a long time. I've kind of been avoiding group meeting him and stuff, so I don't really like that idea.
Understandable.
I mean,
but I will say that if the Shiga is influencing him, that, and I can tell you this, Silvera, he'll call you Silvera. I can tell you this, Silvera, that you will encounter him. You can't avoid it forever. You can avoid it for now, absolutely, but it will happen eventually. I can see that.
She'll finish her whiskey drink and set it on the table. Well, then I guess we'll have to rip that Band-Aid off.
We can, I don't think it'll be anytime soon. He'll kind of still for a moment. It doesn't feel like it. But down the road, we can give you some ways to protect yourself. Help prepare you a bit for encountering him.
I'm not sure that there's... I mean, last I heard he had an army. So, y'all know what happens after what I did, after leaving.
Yes. We won't let him take you back. That's for sure. But we can't stop the meeting from happening.
It's fine. Running long enough. Guess I have to. If anything happens, my group, I'm the one that gets taken, not them.
Okay.
Keep them safe.
We will work to keep you all safe. Including you.
I'll have to see that. Not gonna lie.
Understandable. He'll kind of smirk. I have to say that your Varys is probably out of our reach of influencing, but maybe your parents can be influenced out of the grip of the Shiga.
What'd you have in mind?
Well, if I could think of plans right away, within seconds' time, we would be doing a lot better than, we have been. But we can figure out something. I'm not guaranteeing, but we can work on it.
My sister?
And your sister as well.
Is everybody else still... Well, I guess alive? It's all a show with my parents and...
Yes, they are. From what I can see. We'll find a way to try to make this better. Silver. We can that's the least we can do is help you with that.
All right. Sounds like a reasonable deal. And I'll help you with whatever y'all need. And if we gotta go and gather around these things, then I guess that's what we'll do.
No, it's an option. And we'll make sure you find that Temple of Elistray.
I know I'm not entirely familiar with everything on top of the ground, but that would be very appreciated.
In fact, I think I know of one in Ozberghen that I can point you out to. a fine temple. We might even have one here on the Dimmy Plain, but it's scarce to say that things tend to shift here. And things, sometimes I'm not really exactly sure. I might think that one thing is somewhere, and then it ends up actually being somewhere else, so.
That's just confusing.
Thankfully, it doesn't happen often, but if things shift below, sometimes they shift up here. And with the disturbances between the magic users, and it's made things a little unpredictable on this plane.
I think I'd like to go to bed now.
Of course. And you will... within the next moment that you're conscious, Pixar, and you're awake the next morning and feel fully rested. Zephyr. You find yourself in this green enclave as well with the waterfall, and you see Aurelius sitting across the grass. Zephyr, please sit.
All hail Aurelius.
Please, my friend, sit down. As you look to the table to your right, as you sit, Zephyr, you see your favorite drink, whatever that may be.
We're just going to go with honey water.
Okay. Zephyr, you're doing well. Good.
I'm working with what I have here.
Good.
Negative side effects.
Right. The test was interesting.
Did you even plan this out?
Well, you know how the tests work. They're not something that I can exactly plan. It's all up to you. Zephyr, I wanted to make you aware of something. I know that we're on good terms, and I take it do you have any questions from your test, or about this group, or about... Are you going to stay with them? You don't have to, you can stay here.
Where's the bets?
Where's the bets, indeed? Well, good to hear. I think that they will benefit from having you around. Always a positive influence wherever you go. But I do want to make you aware of something, Zephyr. Unfortunately, we've lost track of Deft. Have you seen him? Other than your test, have you seen him out and about?
Excuse me, I'm sensitive.
Understandable. And I'll take that as a no. We're going to keep working on trying to locate him, but he's gone off the grid, and that's unlike him.
Deft friend. Mind your pockets.
Yes. Always very swift with the pocket picking. Deft was. Well, again, I just wanted to let you know. I will let you, be in contact with you if we find out where he is, or, need your help in, going after him. But yes, if you see him, have him report in. And also, if you do see him out, Zephyr, tell him to report in, but be a little cautious.
Something smells.
The last time we saw him, he had came in and was talking about something that I wasn't quite understanding. A darkness and a tower that he was investigating here on the plane, the demi-plane. I tried to tell him to, that it was out of his control and that he needed to get back up or wait until we had some people to go with him, but he seemed pretty adamant and went that way, so I'm not really sure. Let me look up the name here. He visited Column after he visited me. Remember Column down in Ozberghen, right outside of Lysador? So I don't know, maybe if you head down to Ozberghen with the group, I'm not sure where they're going to go next, but if they go to Ozberghen, maybe stop in and chat. In fact, I think if the group does get back to Ozberghen, I'll probably tell them that they need to visit Column either right away or sometime soon. He can help in locating things and knows a bit more about the plane than I do anymore. All right, well, that's all I have.
Have you ever heard of the Avarice Empire? Avarice? Avarice Empire? In Zell's voice.
Right. I can't say that I have. Sorry, I was just looking at something really quick.
Cheeky little thing.
We can definitely do some research, though, and see if we can find more information. You said avarice. Okay.
Let's hope this works.
You'll do good, Zephyr, as you always do. And you find yourself, the next few instances, waking up in the morning. Ren. You find yourself all of a sudden out of your dream state in this green meadow, or green, enclave, I guess, with the waterfall and Aurelius to your right. Ren. Welcome.
Hi.
Please sit down.
I'll walk over and sit down.
Would you like tea, coffee, water, whiskey?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. So I'm bringing everyone individually in to discuss.
Did you make those dreams happen? Did you design them?
No. We designed the spell that kind of reached into the subconscious, but everything that came out was a concoction of your fears, your dreams, your hopes, nightmares. I apologize if it was unsettling.
It was both not quite unsettling, rather a joy to experience, yet sad to leave.
I understand.
Do you see what we see?
I see bits and pieces. I can't read everything, and I can't read too far into your past other than what the universe reveals, but I saw a bit of your dinner with your family and the person that you saw at the door.
Have you ever seen her before?
No, I haven't. Is there something?
Have you ever heard the name Magdalene?
No.
Out of character, to confirm, she said Dem Glemte, and that's where we're at.
Yes, you're
Like,
on
that's
the
the
plane.
plane we're
You're
on?
on the plane,
Okay,
Dem
thank you.
Glemte, yes.
I was pretty sure, but I
And she
wasn't
did, yeah.
100%
It was
sure.
kind of like an echo that you heard after she
Yeah.
went into the fog.
Because in the end, before she vanished, I swear I heard her voice saying Dem Glim, and so I didn't know if you had ever seen her or heard of her.
Oh, the Dim plane is rather large, so I don't know everyone that occupies here, unfortunately. I kind of stay in my own little corner for the most part, but I do have a lot of contacts. I could ask around. As I said, I got a glimpse of her, so I'll give them a description and a name and see if
That would be very...
anything comes up. Interesting.
I'm for your cause. I'll fight for you. But I can't promise I'll not abandon it if it is for the sake of finding her. Just so you know.
That's fair. The only time that we become concerned is if you work directly with the Sheikah or seem influenced by them. Then we have discussions and we talk about it. We don't resort to violence. Not unless we absolutely have to.
That's fair.
But please, feel free to pursue your interests, and we are not trying to inhibit you from that.
I appreciate that.
It's the least we can do. You have any other lingering concerns or questions about what happened, or about me, or about this?
No. I think I'm fine.
He becomes very still for a moment, Ren, and kind of looks down and looks back to you. And his eyes, whereas they were this very beautiful blue before, have an almost shine to them. And his dark hair that's kind of cropped closely to the head, almost seems to glow. You will find her. Not today. Not tomorrow. But you will. And then it kind of dies down. The glow dissipates from the hair and from the eyes.
Are you able to see into the future?
It comes and goes. Part of my SMR blessing. And also this plane. Kind of exasperates some of those traits.
You said my wolf was from this plane.
Yes.
Is there anything I should know about that, or is she just, a regular wolf but from a different plane?
I know around where that her most of the wolves of her kind actually congregate in the Monster Valley here on Dem Glemte. Not the friendliest of places. I mean, it can be. It all depends on what you run into, I guess. There are some large stone creatures that guard the area. It's over in the upper left quadrant of Dem Glemte. Get one of my map makers to make your group a map and make sure you get it as soon as it's done. AKA Stephanie making the map. I officially work for the Torchlight Committee, y'all. Yeah. I'll get a map to you when I can.
Okay. Thank you.
Hopefully you charge them commission.
Oh my gosh. Let me actually write down what I just told you. Upper left quadrant.
Upper left quadrant is what I wrote down. So
Yes, yeah. The Monster Valley.
and stone giants.
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me from all of this?
No, I know you would do good, Ren. You would try
That's
your
my goal.
best. And your best is all we ask for.
It's what I try to do daily.
I know. You ready to go back?
It is nice here, but can't
Yes.
stay forever.
I'll see you in the morning. And within the next few breaths that you take, you are waking up in the morning. Sunshine through the window. And Max, who wasn't there in your talk
Second
with
dream.
Aurelius, but Max is in the room, as used. Rhaenyra, you find yourself amidst your dream time in this beautiful green enclave. Birds are chirping. You hear the waterfall to your left, and Aurelius sitting across the grass. Rhaenyra, please. And he motions to the chair.
I take a seat with my hands on my lap.
Would you like tea, coffee? Water?
I'll have a tea, please.
Okay. You look to your right on the table, and Aurelius will kind of motion to it, and there is a tea waiting there. And when you take a sip, it is one of your favorite kinds.
Dandy.
Is that what it's called? I'm just kidding. The dandy tea. Rhaenyra, what? So, how did the test go?
Were you watching like the others?
I only saw bits and pieces of everyone's test, but the spell that we use kind of picks and chooses things out of your subconscious. So I apologize if it was a little unsettling in any way, but
That's fine. I've seen lots of unsettling things over this last month.
oh, understandable. Any questions for me, or about the test, about me, about this whole thing? I wanted to bring each of you in individually and talk with you.
I do have questions. Maybe too many, but I think most importantly was Zenfried. Did you see him in my test?
Zenfried. What did he... I didn't see him in your test. No, that wasn't a piece that I saw. I know that Geneva did mention something strange, but I didn't get a chance to really get it out of her. What did he look like?
He had, correct me if I'm wrong, blonde hair and a beard?
Yes, he had, sorry, I was just trying to find something. Yes, he had, blonde, kind of shaggy hair with, some, like, stubble and a mustache. Clothes, nice, but a little bit tattered, almost like he had been through a windstorm.
Zemfried has appeared to me in a vision, and then again in this test, and I've never met him. I don't know him, but I feel like I'm being drawn to him for some reason.
Oh, Stephanie's trying to find this. Okay. Oh. You're not talking about Zemfrey Zion, are you?
Well, I know him, and that it's not the same person. At least I don't think.
What do you know of Zemfrey Zion?
He lives in a magical house in the woods, and I think he gave me some books of his. At least if he went by Z.
Do you have this book with you? Is it in your bag?
It is.
Your bag appears at your feet.
Oh.
Can I see this book? You don't have to show me, but...
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to, give it to him.
He flips through it. I think this was the Magic and Ozberghen one, I think, right? If I remember correctly. Oh, and he flips through it at first and kind of goes towards the front where the author's signature is, as well as the short bio that the author had written about himself. He hands the book back to you without saying anything. Just kind of worried, his eyebrows kind of knitted together. Here. This is interesting. The person that you described sounds like the Zemfrey Zion that I once knew. Years ago. But I don't know of him. I thought he was dead.
From what we've heard, he disappeared. But we met a man named Z living in the woods alone, and he welcomed us, and he sent us away.
In Ozberghen?
In Ozberghen, yes, just south of Bern, north of Bern. I'm not sure which direction.
South of Bern. Or south of what once used to be Bern.
Yeah. But he was not the same person from what I know. I mean, the Z that we met, he was old. He was an old man.
Well, Renerius, I mean, as you probably found out with the time devices, with the artifacts, time's not always what we see it as. It could be that maybe he's reaching out to you.
He's reaching out to me from the past. You mean?
from the past, or if he's stuck somewhere, or... Oh god, I just, like... Wow, got choked up all of a sudden. I'm just
That
crying,
Siegfried
guys.
is just so amazing.
I know, right?
Takes the breath away.
My goodness. It could be... You don't live as long as I have, Renerius, without knowing and finding, or without finding out and realizing that there are more unexplained things in the plains than explained. Do you get my meaning?
I can certainly try. Yes.
This is strange now, but have you seen Z since seeing Zeinfrey?
I have not. No. I mean, it just happened. I believe that the day before we came here.
You saw you saw Z then, or you saw... How long ago was it that you saw Z?
I saw the man with the blonde hair and the mustache, and
I mean the old man.
Oh, the old man. It was weeks ago.
Okay. Well, this is something to think on. The Zion-free Zion that I knew wouldn't be reaching out to you for no reason. He was a very smart man, and very talented in the ways of magic.
The Z that we met also seemed very talented in the ways of magic, and I know the ways of magic. I would be a good judge of that.
Yes, you would. Well, I'll continue to look into it, and my suggestion is to you is if Zeinfrey appears to you again and he tells you something, to listen and to take note. If anything, any information that you need help looking into, just contact me.
How can I do that?
I'll give you ways tomorrow.
Very well then. What? I have other questions. If
certainly, please.
What do you know about the Shiga and the colleges around Ozberghen?
Oh, the colleges around Ozberghen are interesting places. I think I may have mentioned yesterday, or when we first met, that the Fairweather College is a place of interest for us as far as Shiga activity. It seems we suspect that they've made their hold there, at least on a couple of people. But it's undocumented and unproved. The other colleges are interesting enough. We haven't had any major reports of anything happening or going on. The Fairweather College came to our attention because of the mage disappearance. And we haven't had the chance to send anyone there to further investigate. Do you have a correlation between the Shiga and the mage colleges in Ozberghen?
I don't know for certain. We've had some interactions with mages from the college. A few instructors have defected from the college. One called Jocelyn. How did I
Jocelyn.
forget his name?
Oh,
One was called
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. He's currently with Adrian. At least that's where we last saw him. And there's another one. She was the dean of artificing. I'm not quite sure where she is at the moment. She might also be in.
I will say, as a DM, Wineta acted like that she was going to stay in Bornheim because her family was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That.
Bornheim.
She might be in Bornheim.
Interesting. Makes the second time I've heard that city's name tonight. Sure won't be the last.
And I believe Judge Jocelyn is still in Burlesque. Maybe you should ask Pick's friend. She might have more information.
Okay.
The college is a place of interest, and from what I know, they are responsible for capturing mages and delivering them to floating cities. At least that's my suspicion.
That's what we were afraid of. Okay. Yeah. I don't know too much about the other mage institutes, as I said. The mage institute in Zephyr seems to be a pretty upstanding place, but we haven't gotten any reports there, so...
I would gladly investigate the college at Fairweather again with new eyes, but I think we are well known in Fairweather now. I think they'll be looking for us if we go back.
Understandable. We could, maybe, if that's something that your group decides to do, find a way to disguise you. Not have you so out in the open as it is. It's an option. You're from Fairweather, correct?
I am, yes. I was born and I was raised there. I still have family there who I'm concerned of after recent events.
Understandable. Well, maybe reach out to them. Check on them. The Shiga, I don't know exactly what you want to know of them. I mean, they find ways to... There were a lot of hurt mages in the past. The Shiga, we believe, is a cumulation of those hurt mages. The mages that were cut down unnecessarily by non-magic users, or the mages who were sacrificed or made to rot in jail because they used magic. Many other things. You have those who raged against the system, and some of them who might have deserved death, but all in all, hatred can be a very strong thing, and so can revenge. The Shiga is all of that.
Well, over the past few weeks, I've lost purpose in my life. I was studying at school, and I left to find Regina, and now that she's gone, I have no direction. So I hope I can find that here with the Torchlight committee.
We're glad to have you, Renarius. You're the second person to mention Regina this evening. She must have been quite a person.
She was a dear friend and a mentor. And when I last had contact with her, I had a vision, and she wanted me to promise her to end what was happening at the colleges, to make sure no more mages were killed unjustly.
I'm sorry to have missed her. Is there anything else that I can answer for you, Venerius?
That's all for now, I think.
Understandable. I grow quite tired and need my rest myself.
Mhm.
But I will see you in the morning. And the next moment, the next breath, you find yourself waking up in the morning to the sun shining through your window in your room. And that's where we'll take our bio break. For those watching, we take an 8 to 10 minute bio break. So hang in there. We will be right back with some more drama. All right, mics are hot.
Hot mics.
Hot mics just like us. What is this about PR work?
Well, we had a raid, so I was trying to
okay.
desperately to get everybody up to speed.
Thank you. What a way to take one for the team.
Yeah, that 30.
Well, welcome, viewers. Well. Reading back in Zoom chat. Oh, did I not tell you how to spell Zion free?
Yeah, I probably just didn't look it up.
I have that in my notes somewhere.
Glowy darkness, just like the angels in Night Vale. Yes.
Shone with a black light.
Look at all these side quests we're getting. And yes, ASMR is spelled with 2 A's. Wow. So much. So much.
You guys want to see my big score from Facebook Marketplace today?
Oh, snap. Yes.
It's the retired Lego Space Needle.
Oh, wow.
Sells on Amazon for $145. And I got it for $2.
Wow.
Wow.
I love
Is
when
the-
people don't know what they're selling.
So it's made out of Legos?
Uh-huh.
So you're
Right.
gonna flip it?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm really torn.
Nice.
Because I grew up in Olympia, Washington, so right outside Seattle. So like I actually like this one, but
Mm-hmm.
I did flip a bike trailer on Sunday though.
Wow, look at you.
And that's my side hustle, because I love doing that.
That's
I
funny.
bought it from somebody for $40 at 2, sold it to somebody at 5 for 160.
I mean, hey, if it works, it works.
Mhm.
You know? Oh man, there's a lot. Like my note, I'm looking back on past notes, and it's like a note for Wilhelm is that he's a very powerful bard. None of you ever found out.
But good to know. Now we know.
Good to know. If he remembers how to use his magic, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say a very powerful,
He's a
but
bit,
confused.
he's yeah,
Well,
very powerful but confused bard, which might be more dangerous than
Yeah.
what you want.
Dementia bard.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you spell Shiga?
Give me 1 second.
I have
I know how to pronounce.
H-Y-G-G-E.
See,
It
I've
is
spelled
okay. So there's a really Shiga is how it's pronounced. Wait until you hear how to spell it.
Oh
jeez.
no. Steph, why
Are
do you
you
do
ready?
this to me?
Are you
Why do you
ready?
do this to me?
S K as in kite.
Oh, yeah.
Y G G E.
E, not
So,
even an A. Okay.
SKYGGE.
I'll just keep spelling it.
And
how
that's
I-
pronounced
Yeah.
Shiga.
Why?
Because Iceland.
Right.
You're right. You did that on stream one time where you just looked up. I saw you. You looked up Icelandic names or something for something, and I was like, "That's how she does it."
No, it's for something else, but yeah. Yep. 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 Okay, let me just double check something before I go back.
And here I thought I got one thing spelled right.
You did not. Oh, that's incorrect now because I changed that on the cuff.
The perks for working for public broadcasting. Oh no.
Oh no. It's a Cookie Monster mug.
Yeah, they gave this to us like the third month into COVID. And there's still hope that we come back to the office.
So funny. Okay. Alright. We shall go live in 3, 2, 1. Alright. Welcome back. Thank you for hanging in there, chat. Appreciate it. You're the best. We get right back into everything. I know that Melissa will be here shortly. She had to step away for a bit, so. All right. So all of you wake up the next morning. You have a small window in the rooms that you were given. They said I think it was like modest accommodations, but just a bit comfortable. What you want to do is up to you. You know that there's a hallway out. You kind of get, almost like a feeling or just like a thought in your head that breakfast is back in the room where you were the day before speaking to Aurelius. So through the door out in the library area or in the cafe. So you know that breakfast is only 2 doors away, in other words.
I go to breakfast.
I'm assuming we're waking up like rested.
You are waking up rested, yes. You feel like you
rest all night long.
Even though you're unsure of how long you were sleeping, you feel like as if you had your 8 hours of sleep.
Got it.
All spell slots gone. No.
Completely depleted.
Right.
I just rolled for portent 9 and 15. Let it be known.
Nice.
And the portent has spoken.
All right, so Rhaenyra's is going to breakfast. Anyone want to do anything in your rooms before you go to breakfast?
Gerbil would, as soon as he wakes up, he's going to go fishing in his pack for the book about Hrugrick that he got from...
God bless you.
What's his name? The artsy orc.
Yes. Lyric, I think was his name.
Lyric, yeah. And he's just gonna thoroughly read like the first couple pages and then just kind of like scrub through it. He's just trying to find like anything that might give him answers as to if Gorbin could actually somehow possess the powers, or if it's just talk, or if this is a real god that he's dealing with.
Make an investigation check, Gerbil.
Ooh. Solid +1 modifier in investigation. Let's go. Wait, what? I don't have a virtual tabletop open. Why'd you roll it at a virtual tabletop? Hold on. Why did it do that? No, don't. Stop.
You're having some issues, dude.
Wait, it's like I have Beyond 20 turned on, and it's like sitting to a virtual tabletop. I don't have a virtual tabletop open. I'll just okay.
Go.
4.
Okay. I mean, you do kind of pick up that he's a god. It is definitely a bugbear god. One of the chief deities of bugbears. There's a god of ambush, violence, and combat. And so you just kind of pick up, factoids that you already kind of knew from your history.
Yep.
But, would kind of understand that if you would take a closer look at what's in the book, take some time to read over it a little bit more than just paging through it, you would probably find out some more information and maybe get a feel for what you're looking for, or at least try to.
Okay. He's about to dive in more, then his stomach grumbles and he gets up and goes breakfast.
Rin, you had something you wanted to do.
Yeah, so I'll wake up and I'll see Mags there and kind of pet her, and I'm just gonna kind of say, well, that's your namesake there, the girl we met last night. You seem like you're going to live up to the name, though. But would you do me a favor? And my goal is I want to find her. Are you up for that with me? And
Mags will kind of, I imagine you kind of sitting on your bed talking to her as she's laying on the floor at your feet, and she will kind of nuzzle your leg. And sit up straight as if ready to go, ready to at your command.
Got it. Well, I'll take that as an okay, as a yes. But we can't start anywhere without food, so. And then I'll get up and head
Make a wisdom check for me, Ren.
22.
You get the feeling that, as strange as it seems, Mags, you get this feeling of almost like an energy that's coming off of Mags. It's very agreeable to what you're saying, and also kind of excited to do what you're saying.
Okay.
All right, and you're
Then
heading
I'll
off.
walk downstairs with a bit more of a skip then.
Wonderful. All right.
Yeah.
Everyone else heading to breakfast?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think if I remember correctly, you walk out of your room and there was this long hallway. You walk through the door of that long hallway and you find yourselves in the cafe where you first walked in and spoke to Aurelius the day before. Geneva, along with the barista that he had working the counter, are hard at work kind of getting things tidied up. There's some bread, there's some fruit, there are scrambled eggs in a bowl. There's a table set out with all sorts of things, as well as some donuts, coffee, tea, that sort of thing.
What's our vegetable option look like?
The vegetable options, there are green beans.
Donuts, duh.
That's how dare I ask?
Yeah.
Yep.
Always some kind of garden variety,
Yeah.
garden
Yeah.
vegetable in the morning. Of course, that's
Just
the
checking.
that's the Ozberghen. That's the same around all Astra Lenore.
Green beans
I go start
in the
piling on
morning
the
just seems
Green
not
beans
right.
and eggs are actually I enjoy together, but maybe
Are
it's
there
just-
cloud eggs?
chopped up asparagus with eggs. Delicious. Just
No,
FYI.
Sure,
Just FYI, everyone.
sure. I don't like asparagus, but all right.
Oh, well.
I'll take your word.
Okay.
But no, they are not cloud eggs. They were scrambled eggs. Yeah, almost like a continental breakfast. This isn't extremely fancy, but there are some pancakes, waffles, as well. Some sausage, bacon, if you prefer, and green beans for the vegetable of the day.
Of course. I start getting a plate full of green beans and some eggs and some meat for Max.
Okay. Everyone make just say Aurelius isn't in the room. So everyone getting breakfast and sitting down at a table?
Yes.
You said the barista was a Yanti?
Yes,
last week?
correct.
Okay. Does Gerbil know what a Yanti is?
Make an intelligence check, Gerbil.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked. 19.
Yes, you do. You've seen a Yanti or two in your time.
I'm gonna kind of grab a plate of things and kind of just go over to the counter to the barista. So, what's your deal?
I'm sorry.
You're a Yanti, right?
That's correct. And you're a bugbear, right?
I am. I was gonna think of.
Can I help you with anything?
No, I've never seen it.
And walking closer to her, you can see she has a short, chin length, like a bob, blonde hair. This kind of a moss green skin tone. Well, I mean, it's not skin. It's scale. It's scaly, almost like a reptilian skin, I guess, with some like orange specks here and there. Wearing this red barista's apron. Is the coffee out? Do I need to refill something at the table?
No, I'm just surprised to see a Yanti just serving as a barista. I'm just wondered if there's a story.
No, I was asked here by Aurelius, and I answered. As did you.
All right. So you're a member of the Torchlight committee, or are you just the demi-plane barista?
The barista's a little big to just have one. The barista's a little big. The demi-plane's a little big to have just one barista.
Right.
That would be impossible.
Right. I'm sorry, this is getting awkward. My name's Gerbil.
I'm a bugbear.
We already established that.
And I'm Zolsush.
You're gonna have to spell that one for me.
Zolsush.
Yes.
Zolsush.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
right.
a pleasure to meet you, Durable.
Right. Sorry for judging a book by its cover. I'm gonna walk away.
She kind of, you kind of can feel her eyes kind of staring at you, like, okay, like after you leave. Yeah, okay. Awkward conversation over. Everyone is at breakfast, Pixrin. There is a nice little, a continental breakfast set out with scrambled eggs, sausage. There are some green beans there as well, coffee, tea, bread, donuts, of course, because since this is a cafe. Once everyone starts sitting down at a table, Aurelius appears. Kind of stepping out of that back door that kind of led to his library, or actually that you stepped out of, coming from your bedrooms. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hi.
Joel just grunt with mouthful of eggs.
Silva's Pixman's grabbed some like sausages and eggs and then like 4 donuts.
Nice.
Some
Yeah, a couple of
big
eggs
cup
kind
of coffee.
a couple of eggs kind of come out of your mouth as you like nod, gerbil. Well, not eggs, but pieces of eggs from the scrambled eggs.
Watch that speeder.
Let me. I think my cat wants in. Give me 1 second.
Not
Hey, we
polite
won
to
the
talk
game.
Not polite to talk with your mouth full.
I wasn't talking, I was nodding.
Aurelius suddenly, like, even though the table didn't seem big enough before, suddenly it's big enough for the group of you, for the 6 of you to sit down, as well as Aurelius. And a plate kind of appears in front of him with 3 donuts and a cup of coffee. So, good to see everyone at breakfast. So, I guess we have some things to talk about as a group, right? Jackie coming in. He kind of gave up when we answering the door and just kind of is laying outside the door now.
A tabaxi walks in.
Yeah.
Come here.
This is King Jack.
Oh, he's looking so angry
King
at
of
me right
Tabaxi.
now. He
Oh.
is not happy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
We have a few things to talk about, like what you want to do. There's all kinds of things that you can get into. You have the Shiga, you have the artifacts. If you wanted to, basically, it's up to you what you want to go after. I guess a few suggestions from me would be, we do need to track down the artifacts, the time-altering devices. As I was explaining to one of you last night, the sand makes them, unless you directly put a spell on the object for tracking it, it makes it hard to track as a whole. So we don't really know where they are. There are suspicions of people that might have them, but those are only people that might be untouchable at this moment, honestly. And he kind of looks at Pixrin. But, and I guess others is, we do need to kind of try to get a hold on who might be being influenced by the Shiga, either on your plane, on Ozberghen and the surrounding continents, or here in Dem Glemte. Or if you have any leads yourself on things that you want to pursue.
All right, quick question. You keep mentioning that the Shiga has influence over people and not it. What is the Shiga? Is it a group like the committee? Is what I was thinking. It was just like an evil committee, but you're not mentioning people as members of Shiga. Just Shiga has influence over people.
I think I mentioned yesterday that this isn't the first time that there's been a disturbance with the mages. That the mages have become upset, and rightly so. They do suffer persecution, and no one likes to have their loved ones taken and used to power cities just for whimsy, or just to escape their problems. This happened about close to 100 years ago as well, or longer. The war lasted a couple of 100 years, but the end of it was 100 years ago. So started 300 years ago. Mostly on your plane. And that's one of the main reasons that Dem Glemte was formed, was as a refuge for those affected. But things went awry. The mages back then were... The mages have now persecuted, yes, but the mages then were extremely persecuted, killed ruthlessly, drug out and found, and there were hardly any mages left once this all happened. When something like that happens, and there are so many who have suffered, and so many who have been wronged and who are angry and want their revenge on the people that wronged them, it kind of does something with the afterlife. From what we can tell, the Shiga is an accumulation of, well, almost the spirits of those mages. It seems to empower people towards hate and towards revenge, empowering them to go further into darkness than what they would have done themselves. It's a phenomenon that, when I've spoken to people from other planes, they've never heard of it before, or never seen anything like it. So what we're dealing with here is supernatural.
Oh.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah.
It has a way of grasping onto people's darkness and making it worse. Far, far worse.
How do we get rid of it?
Well,
Once we figure out if somebody is,
the first thing would be to try to figure out who it is affecting the most. Those who are acting out, or some might be out of character, some might be in character of bad things they might be doing. If usually it involves high magic, it involves a lot of magic use. And a mixture of that with the darkness that I'm referring to can be catastrophic. So a very helpful thing would be to find ones who can travel about and try and pinpoint. Not that we want you to eradicate them, but just so we know, so we can either find a way to take care of it, which is what we're working on. We're coming up trying to discover ways to trap the Shiga, to take it out of the person. We've experimented a couple of times, and it's still a work in progress, but we think that we're close. And an answer for that could be within a week, honestly. Give or take.
how would we let you know that we've...
How would what?
How would we let you know that we may have found somebody who's been influenced by that?
My cat is just like, I don't know
Kitty cat.
wanting attention.
Jack, we're having a meeting.
Can you not tell we're having a serious moment, Jack?
Mama's busy.
Yes, you're right. And he will motion for Geneva Geneva, which is the furbog that you met the day before, with the two-toned skin, kind of a tan leather brown and white, wearing this flower crown and green eyes. She steps over with, or she rolls over a cart with this metal sphere. Not like a sphere like the time devices, but this is a full closed-in sphere, metal sphere. But there is kind of a ring in the middle that you'll notice with little, almost like keyholes in it. And with that are these small metal keys on chains that you can wear around your neck. And each key has a different gemstone kind of embedded into it. And the keys are only about 1.5 inches tall. The holding part is only like about 1 inch wide. And he will hand each of you one of the keys on the chains. These function in a couple of different ways. It has the gemstone in it, so you will not need to worry about having a gemstone when transferring back and forth from the plane if you need to, or other planes. But also, and he'll kind of pick up the sphere, if you put the keys in here at the same time, well, you don't have to put them in the same time, but you have to turn them at the same time, it will transfer you back to this cafe without going through the issues of going through the portals, you know, that you ran into when you came in with the sickness and everything. It's a little bit of an easier transfer, but it'll only bring you to here in the plane. With the portals around Ozberghen, you can go to other places as well in Dem Glemte. This will bring you to here. Also, the keys, if you're wearing them around your neck, and you think about each other, or about a certain person in your group, or about me, will let you mentally contact that person. Now, I'm not sure that it will work in other planes, and say you had some of you in Ozberg, I wouldn't suggest splitting the group thus. If you had some people in Ozbergen and some people in another plane other than Dem Glemte, like say the Feywild, I don't know if it would work there, but it does work between Dem Glemte and your plane on Astral Lenore. And now my cat wants out again. 1 second. Wow, so needy. Hopefully this will work, and he will kind of put this sphere in the middle of the table for anyone to take and keep with them.
How big is the sphere?
It can be held like in a hand like this. So you're talking about like 7 inches in diameter, maybe?
And they have a bunch of keyholes?
Yes, it has like a center part that goes around, and the keyholes are kind of going around the sphere on the same, horizontally on the same height on the sphere.
You said we all have to turn it at the same.
Yes.
Can some of us use it to tell? Like, could one of us be left behind if he didn't turn the key in time or didn't put the key in, or do all of us have to be together to go?
It simply won't work if you don't turn the keys at the same time. This is to make it easier transfer to here. So you do, unless I do alterations in the future, if one of you aren't with the party in the future, then we can do some alterations and make it for less keyholes. But as of right now, you need the entire group there for this easy transfer. Otherwise, there are, and I can point these out to you. I know of 2, I think, and kind of looks around. There are some. Well, you came upon one, a natural portal, there at the hand statues by the field of sunflowers. Looks to you, Gerbil. There are a handful of those that I know of in Ozberghen. There could be others elsewhere. But those will get you to this plane as well. But in order for this to work, you do need the 6 of you.
Where are they? Oh, go ahead.
If we see, thanks. If we see, would it be safe to assume if we see someone else with a similar key around their neck that they are members of the Torchlight Committee?
Oh, this was made especially for you.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
We haven't.
That was my next question.
We don't actually have a way of identifying. That's a good idea. If you think of a way that we can do that, then by all means, please. It hasn't been something that we've prioritized.
Okay.
But we're open to suggestions.
And I imagine we probably shouldn't be flashing the symbol of the Torchlight Committee around.
Another good point. Otherwise, you would make yourselves... targets of the Shiga, possibly. Although not... It's interesting. It seems like we've had some... we've had a couple of our people targeted before. If, they were seen with... and he kind of points to Zephyr with the coin, the communication coin. But then sometimes they don't seem to recognize it. I don't know if it depends on the person that they're working through, I guess is a way to say it. Who knows?
Have y'all figured out the source of the Shiga?
Well, the source are... what we assume are spirits of the mages from the past.
The ones that rebelled.
So, we're...
I must have been focusing on my donuts a little too much.
It's okay. They are good, I admit. What is wrong with you?
But aren't the whole using mages to power floating cities?
Yes.
That was influenced by the Shiga, right? At least people. If their power, if the Shiga is the unrestful spirits of angry mages, why attack more mages?
The mages being captured was not part, or at least from what we can tell, part of the Shiga's plan.
That's just the work of general assholes?
It's the work of people... The Shiga aren't the only evil force in the world. There are just bad people.
I guess life couldn't be that simple.
I look at the people who originally went up against the mages in the beginning. These are close to those same people. They want to use the mages and extort them, which is what's causing the mage rebellion that we're having today, which is only fueling, which is why we're having to look for people to help us with this Shiga problem. Title of the episode, The Shiga Problem.
How do y'all feel about that?
How do we feel about the mages being used in the cities?
Oh, my bad. I meant like Ran and Gerbil and
your friends.
Yeah.
And he just kind of sits back and eats a donut.
I'm working with what I have here.
Hey. Go ahead.
I mean, you do kind of have a point. I think we all kind of are. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's like at some point, it's like I feel like it's all connected, but then it's like no, it's just some assholes.
Well, try not to let your brain explode. One like that. Not very good for breakfast.
I would not like brain on my donuts.
I think both groups are just in it for themselves and don't care about who they hurt or who they harm. And I have no problem in pursuing and stopping them.
Agreed.
Agreed.
It's an interesting issue. I can't help, as a magic user myself, feel empathetic towards the Shiga in a way. They had a hard time. But, and honestly, I'm not really, we're still looking into, and he kind of looks over to Geneva, we're still looking into what got them gathered together. Whether these mage spirits had a choice in forming together into this Shiga entity, or they were forced. We usually, this is, of course, we haven't had a lot of success, but we try to approach those affected by the Shiga not in a way of accusation and you know, fighting them, but at first as a means to try and discuss with them, see if there's a way that they can be, I guess, in loss of a better word, saved. It's not usually possible, but I would say Rhaenyra would probably agree that we don't want to completely disregard their anger as the mages who they once were. We're unsure if they can feel or if they are aware of what they're being used for. And that's partly why we're getting teams like you together to investigate a bit, to get a better feel than what we can hear, you know, at the top of things.
So it sounds like, oh, go ahead. Your turn.
So don't get trigger happy when we see evidence of the Shiga. That's what you're getting at. Or do we say, if we, like, for example, we've already had, before we even knew about any of this, we've already had a run-in with a very intimidating tiefling that had the symbol of the Shiga. I imagine that's the upside down version of the Torchlight Committee.
Yes, that's what they've adopted, yes.
And none of us are a fan of her. And I think we'd like to see her dead. Let's look around. But if we were to run into someone like her again, who seems very evil, do we subdue them? Do we lock them up?
Quick,
Does the cafe have a prison?
quick DM question. Who is this tiefling you're talking about?
Wait, is it Rinka?
Rinka's not a tiefling. She's human.
Rinka's not a tiefling.
Yeah, I was
Why?
gonna say.
Why
Like
did I?
She's just an old lady. You said that a couple times ago too, and I was like, I don't think she's a tiefling.
Why the heck did I think
She wasn't a
Rinka
tiefling.
Oh, you got Jocelyn on the brain.
I was like, wait a minute.
Easy to do.
I was like, am I forgetting a character that I made evil?
I don't
I'm
know.
unsure.
For some reason, I always pictured Rinka as like evil, like redskin with horns.
No.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
Really?
no.
So you're
that is
saying
so
all
wrong.
redskin tieflings are evil?
Oh,
Oh
no.
OMG.
now I know how you really feel.
Wow.
That right
Oh.
there. That's the end. That's the end of the episode. We have to
So we're talking about this
Stuff.
next year we'll be
Next
talking about
time
this
when
whole elf
Pictured's
problem.
I
standing
can't
over his body.
It's all right. It's all right.
These elves, I tell you.
I just wanted to make
Elf
sure,
problem.
Jonathan, that
I'm
I
married
wasn't.
an elf.
I just wanted to make sure that I didn't.
Oh,
I
my
wasn't
siblings are
forgetting.
different things.
Okay. All right. So back on
Alright.
track here.
Episode title: A Gerbil's a Racist.
So. Oh wait. Sorry, guys. My cat needs to have a special blanket on here to lay down. So give me.
More importantly, the Torchlight Committee should probably sue the Shiga for copyright of their logo. It's just upside
Yeah, I
down.
think so.
The same thing.
How
Yeah.
unoriginal.
Which
Well,
one
I
was
think-
first, though?
Should we get paid? I mean, I want some.
That's true.
I want some money.
I am quite poor.
This is Aurelius actually asking. And who is it that you're referring to? That you ran into?
You,
I would like
Gerbil.
to know.
Rinka.
It was a woman named Rinka in the university, head of the university.
Head of the university.
At Fairweather.
Oh. And this was what you were referring to last night, Renerius.
Indeed, yes.
Okay. Got it. And he will kind of bring out like this huge book, almost like the one that you saw before, although it has a different color cover. Open it and make like a quick note in a pen that kind of appears in his hand. Close it and kind of put it back down. And if you look to where he puts it down at, it's not visible. Got it. Thank you. That helps. See, that's the kind of information that we need.
So we should probably gather intelligence on them, and
You can do that for sure.
although we wouldn't,
So-
we're known to her, so I don't know if we should approach.
I mean, she.
Oh, no. I mean, there's the entire, your plane, the entire
Mhm.
Astral Lenore to gather information. But, yes. You can either, I mean, your plane or Dem Glemte are open to you. We did have a group going through Dem Glemte, but unfortunately they ran into some trouble. They're fine, but they decided to take it easy for a bit. So, they retired.
Oh,
Which
Understood.
left us in a position of not having anyone on either planes. So you certainly can collect intelligence, absolutely. And feel free to let me know whatever you find. You still have the artifacts out there, which, for as far as we can tell, could be a huge use to the Shiga, especially since we're kind of worried that they might try to use them to right what happened years ago, which would have quite the domino effect. Maybe for the good, but I have a feeling it would not be. We have the whole plane problem, which I'm hoping working on this Shiga issue will help with that, because I'm pretty certain that they're responsible for that for whatever reason. But we have other groups that are investigating the plains for now, and if we need your assistance, we'll let you know. Oh, yes, Pixrin.
Got a mouthful of donut.
Another donut appears on your plate.
Are we get paid for this?
Good question. No, I'm just kidding. Well, amongst our protection, which I spoke to a few of you about last night, we will protect you as much as we can, although we can't guarantee, of course, a continuously safe journey. But in the bigger circumstances, we will help out. But yes, we will be more than happy to pay you. I understand adventuring can take some money, and you should be paid for your time.
So like an upfront thing, an hourly thing.
I was
when we
thinking
check
maybe
in.
a week.
Like a weekly?
Weekly pay, yes. Let's say
For each of us, or like
1,000
for us as a
gold
group?
each up front. And to begin with, 300 a week after that.
How does the Torchlight committee have all this money?
Money is just coin.
Sign me up.
It's just metal.
Wait, is the Torchlight Committee a counterfeit?
Yeah,
firm?
that's what I'm thinking. It was just like, it's just paper, right?
This is the tipping point at which
Print a
our
picture.
campaign no longer takes a long time. We're like burning through the quickly.
It's like we finally find the Shiga, and it's just like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Like, why are you hurting us? And we're like,
Money. And then we can discuss later for any other things that happen. You know, if we need to raise that amount or give a little extra. But I do want to make sure that you're compensated.
Thank you.
That is a generous offer. Thank you.
He will look
Where's the
over
bats?
to Geneva, who will bring over 6 bags, and hand one to each of you, which will have 1,000 gold in it. So you can add that to your inventory.
Woo.
Oh snap!
Now I have 1,001 gold.
1,001.
Wow. Wow. Feast or famine, huh? I'm sorry.
Happens.
now we could buy 2 chickens.
You definitely can.
Can it be 100 platinum?
Yeah, it can be 100 platinum. Put it in however you want. Sure. Yeah.
I want it all in copper.
If you look into the bag and if you look into the bag
I
and
want to
you
carry
are
it in a
thinking
trunk.
and you are thinking 100 platinum, there's 100 platinum there instead of 1,000 gold. I just like putting that 1,000 number in there. Being
Sounds
like,
fancier.
yes.
I like big numbers.
I like big numbers and I cannot lie. So
Thank you for
Dream
that.
just
Because that's
took
what I
a
was
shit.
thinking.
what are we thinking intelligence? Are we thinking trying to find out who the Shiga are affecting on your plane, or are you wanting to do so here on Dem Glemte?
I could go either way.
Sure. I mean, you can go between both. You don't have to pick one and not the other, but just be aware that, again, I cannot, well, I mean, this will get you here. However, the other portals when using the gemstones in your keys can get you to other places in Dem Glemte than just here. So that way you wouldn't have to travel as long each time. And if you don't use the sphere, then, well, most of you had an interesting experience getting to this plane, so you don't want to relive that too many times.
No.
Do we have to be at a portal to use?
No, not the
The
sphere.
Okay.
You just need to be at one of the natural portals if you don't have the sphere, or if you don't have all 7 of you together.
Would it be safe to say that the Torchlight Committee values its secrecy and we shouldn't be gallivanting around announcing we're from the Torchlight Committee here to do good kind of thing? We should.
This is true. I would suggest yes. Not many know our symbol, which is why Zephyr here has the symbol in his cloak. And sometimes having the symbol on you can be a nice indicator to those who might also be a part of the Torchlight Committee or know of us. That you're the good guys. But no, I wouldn't go about, unless you're completely sure of handling the Shiga, or whatever Shiga that you're attempting to investigate. I wouldn't let anyone know that, especially those that you suspect to be under the influence of the Shiga, that you are part of the Torchlight Committee. Unless things get dire, and then it wouldn't matter. They know of our existence. They can't touch us here, in this space, but you might be putting yourself under a microscope if you do.
Worst case scenario. What if we get killed or unconscious, or what if we get the keys and the device taken from us? Can they use that to get to you? Or
No.
is it specifically us that can only use it?
No, we created the keys in the midst of the test last night. So they are tied to you.
So without us.
So unless the
keys are
Shiga
useless.
would take hold of any of you, then you'll be fine.
How easy would it be to get taken over by the Shiga?
Gerbil, it's hard to say.
I think that's what we're here to find out.
It's exactly. Once you start investigating, you'll see the differences, but it's mostly allowing yourself to be out of control, or to allow yourself to dwell more in darkness than what you should. The Shiga are not always present, but they are in a lot of places. And they can sense when someone is in distress, shall we say.
So they prey upon the vulnerable.
Correct. The Shiga might have a hold of someone in power that they can use, or they might just have hold of a street urchin that will
He's in dire straits
and will give them, the body and the means that they need.
How much leeway do we have in intervening? I mean, if we see something we think is foreign or they're harming others, just use our best judgment whether or not to intervene and stop it.
I would say that would be the best. Unfortunately, we don't have guides or scales marked up yet, but with these investigations, and we can work on things like that, and we can work on getting a system in place Until then, it's kind of a free for all. It's unknown territory. So yes, your best judgment. I trust all of your best judgments. That would do for the best right now.
Understood.
Anything else?
What of the bugbear?
Corbin.
Yes.
What of him? What is your question?
Is he still a threat to the entire continent? If we were to,
He's amassing armies, yes. Amassing people.
if we were to take care of him, no offense, Gerbil, but if we were to do something about him and his armies, would it mean maybe cities wouldn't need to be up in the air?
Yes. Technically, yes. Also, I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm not how much they thought through ascending. I'm not. I don't understand. I mean, of course, your group has experience with Baron. How do you unpower a city out of the sky and have it land safely?
Eventually, you will run out of mages.
Definitely. But when they run out of mages, so has Ozberghen. And the more mages they kill, the stronger the Shiga become.
Ooh, that's an interesting thought.
Oh.
That becomes an army for them.
Yeah.
Maybe they are working hand in hand. In an sort of
Maybe in an
uncomfortable
underground
alliance.
way, maybe. That's a good point. Which might be why I think Renarius, you mentioned Rinka, or maybe it was one of you, mentioned Rinka working with taking mages to Fairweather College, taking mages to the cities to be used, correct?
Yeah, yes, I believe we experienced it with our friend Jocelyn. He was captured for lack of a better word, and we found him in Baron.
I might just speak to this Jocelyn sometime. But yes, so it seems that maybe in a way they know what they're doing.
Interesting.
And as long as they provide mages, they don't have to be the mages provided.
Selling their own out for their own power.
Many do, and many have.
Indeed.
Anything else I can answer? Or...
I think we have to think over our options and make a decision.
Definitely. I will leave you to it. And he will get up and kind of motion the other two, and before you even realize that they're out of the room, and you have the cafe to yourself. Feels very cozy and comfy in here. The food kind of regenerates on your plate as you eat it, as does the coffee and anything you drink.
Can I just take all this with me? This is pretty cool. I like this plan.
Yes, Geneva. Do the calories count in this demi-plane? It would
Like-
seem not.
It's like Hook, the Lost Boys,
Oh,
imaginary
yeah.
food.
It's not real food, it's just imaginary food.
So what do we do? Do we go back to Ozberghen? Do we explore here?
I think we have a lot of things going on in Ozberghen. I think we need to get back there.
I think we should at least start with a place where we at least know a little bit about what's going on. Because I sure as heck don't know what's going on in this place. Points at the recurring donuts that keep appearing.
Well, I know a couple places we shouldn't go. We shouldn't go to Fairweather. We shouldn't go to Ornheim. Our faces are known there. If I can indulge you, I'd have thought I'd like to check in on what actually happened at Baron. I have family there.
Aren't we known at Baron as well? Or
Just
only by
I mean,
the council members?
assuming we don't even know how many, we only know the one. I kind of sold him out to the changeling there, so hopefully we don't have to worry about him again.
I mean, if you don't think it's a good idea, I can certainly make the trip on my own and be back.
I mean,
within a couple days.
I do think we do have some kind of responsibility just to go back and help there if we can.
Well, if we are going to Baron, I would like to check in on Z.
That's a good idea.
We should also probably check in with,
If we can find
Alec.
Yeah.
He's kind of the reason we are all one big dysfunctional family. We've known each other all of 3 long weeks.
I have a quick. Is Aurelius still in the room? No.
He left.
No, they
think
left to
everyone
let
left,
you
yeah.
decide.
Okay.
And I mean, to answer your question, I was going to hunt down my brother and stop him regardless of this whole thing, as soon as I found out he was still alive. But
Well, we can discern his whereabouts.
well, I don't think that should be hard because he has an army invading the continent. But going off that, I don't know about you guys, but I am not confident in my ability to stop him, or
No,
even
we
to
should
get through to him.
not. I think
I don't know if you guys know. You guys know I was trapped with Addie in the Feywild for almost a decade. What you might not know is that when I came back out of the Feywild, roughly about over 40 years had passed. When I left and got trapped in the Feywild, Corbin was my younger brother. He is now 30 years my senior. And judging by the last time I saw him, he has grown quite a bit in his power.
Wait a minute. So how old are you actually?
I am. Hold on. Hold up.
Like even with that Feywild
Yeah.
stuff, like how?
I'm 32. Bugbears don't go that old. We age the same as humans, roughly. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
You know, it's not polite to ask a lady that. All right. I mean, are you talking Elven or Tiefling?
Well, Elvin. I mean, Addie was just over 100 when I met her, so she was still fairly young, and from what I understand of Elvish heritage, so.
Give me 1 second out of character.
Is this when we find out Renarius is older than me?
We'll lay it all out on the table. Like, come on, guys. How old are we?
Gerbil's the baby.
Well, I'm 34, so I'm older than you. So you're still a baby so far.
Where is it? I'm trying to find the... Oh, it would help if I went on the next page. Right there. Well...
Okay, I have your age and your original character sheet.
Yeah, I just pulled up.
25, 200, yeah.
Yeah. Well, as and she'll motion to herself as tiefling. 25, and as well, myself, 240.
Anyone else?
she like digs her buries her face in donuts some more. It's just like, I'm old as shit.
They keep magically appearing.
I need to stop eating these. I'm gonna get so fat. Can I take this plate with me?
Wait, if we take that, we could distract the
come
whole
on,
goblin
guys,
army.
like-
Hey, I said I'm 34. I'm with you. I shared.
It's just
Tiggle say he's 122.
Oh my goodness. I guess you're an elf. You're an elf.
Thank you, because I'm not the only one in triple digits now. Zephyr.
Red.
I'll just start saying numbers. You repeat it when we get to the right one. 1, 2.
That might take all day.
Renarius, you're a young squirt, right?
I'm 20. If you couldn't tell.
Sweet little
Probably could have
baby.
guessed, but
Oh, sweet little heart.
but
Well, it
anyways,
seems like we
all
want to
that
go back.
all
It's
that
more
to say,
donuts.
What?
No regrets.
where Gorbin was my younger, he was roughly like 18 when I left, and now he's in his 50s and is a warlord. That's what I was getting at. So he's not the brother I left.
I mean, clearly.
But I guess what I'm getting at is, yes, I want to go after him, but I don't think
No,
I'm
you're
ready.
foolish. No, you were
I'm not
both
sure
18.
if we're ready to take on an army
No.
and him.
No, nobody's. I mean, we would need an army to take after an army. So
She just keeps stuffing her face, like avoiding eye contact with Gerbil.
I mean, way back when you were both 18, young gerbil. I mean, young bugbears. So it was much easier then. But now he's has an army under him. So I think we can find out where he is, what he's up to, what his plans could be. Information is sometimes more important than all the gold in the world.
But I guess all in all, I think I've already said my vote. Go back to Ozberghen. Start with what we know at least a little. Work from there.
And Tegan said he wanted to check in on his family, and at some point, if we're going back, I would like to maybe check in on mine. when we were in that one town that I don't remember its name now.
Party Town?
Yeah, Party Town. When we were out with John,
Relax.
No,
with,
not Relas, the other one.
before the Winter Festival, John did me a favor and let me see my home. And I wanted to check in on my sister and make sure.
Trindalog.
Thank you. Like I said, that one town. And everything seemed fine, though it did. Some things looked suspicious around my house, and I didn't think anything of it until my dream last night, where my family was celebrating that I saved the town from people that were stalking through the town, and it's. I'm not concerned that we need to rush there, but at some point, if we could stop, and I could check in on my family and my town, just to clear my mind of that idea.
Didn't you say your family was out west, right? You said west, right?
Yeah, not like majorly west, more from Barren. They're southwestish.
Weren't you concerned with the invasion crossing their paths?
I wasn't. It was more just a useful ruse when we were working with Rinka.
Oh.
But, I mean, maybe. I don't know how far your brother's gotten at this point, so I will be at some point.
Certainly keep our ears open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donut.
I mean, what... So you're obviously a bugbear. You know bugbears better than most. What time frame are we looking at here? If your brother is a warlord and has an army, like...
Please don't say it runs in the family.
Look, no, that's the...
How long do we have till he's taken over all of Ozberghen?
That's the thing. I have no idea. Because when I was in the clan, there was the goblinoid army. It's not an army until someone controls us. We're lazy. Goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, we're all just lazy. I mean, it's not until we get some charismatic sorcerer or hobgoblin or bugbear that takes charge that we ever really do anything.
Basically, you're telling me that y'all are very easily manipulated and controlled.
Yes.
That's good to know.
And that's why the fact that my brother somehow became some warlord that could control such an army to not just to invade the continent we're on, but to travel to another continent. I never thought of any bugbear being that ambitious, and that's what scares me. So I don't know what we're dealing with, to be perfectly honest, because I've never seen anything like it.
Zephyr's gonna lean over and point at Gerbil's plate and go, "Hey, are you gonna eat that?"
I'll take one donut, pops back, I'll show it to him.
So our options are tracking down these time travel devices, tracking down people that might be under the influence of the Shiga, or do whatever we want to do along the way. Would it be... Am I remembering correctly? Did he say that there were time traveling devices kind of on both planes, potentially? So what if
I think you're right.
What if we start looking for that, check in on people we care about along the way, and if we happen to hear about someone maybe under the influence along the way, we then deviate and switch for that.
Did you even plan this out?
Get matching jumpsuits.
No, not really.
with Phasma packs to fight the ghosts. No, I don't plan things out. I just shoot for them. I mean, I just feel we need a direction, and that seems like it would be a direction, and then we can kind of deviate and come back to it as we need.
You have to find the material to make the jumpsuits.
Yeah,
so.
we'll work on it. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
I know a great leather shop in Fairweather. They
Okay.
really bling it out.
Fairweather is the last place we want to go.
Oh no!
Big X on that map. None
We
of us
have
very good
burned
disguises.
that bridge a little bit. Yeah. No. I want to go back to Ozberghen. See if there's a temple there that, and I think we should stock up and make sure that we got everything that we need and maybe get some supplies and got a bunch of money.
All right, so what's our starting point?
Well, you said you wanted to check in on
All right.
Baron for your family, and I mean, it kind of seems like a starting point, at least, to go from there.
Like,
I also think Baron.
yeah, I mean, like what Aurelius wanted to go talk to that Z guy with the bear traps. I mean, he gave us some stuff. And he
That's
had a
true.
pretty
Actually,
weird.
the Z thing
house.
is a really good point. Yes.
So. And also, who knows? Maybe we'll find Alec, and maybe we could I don't know, say
Maybe
sorry.
Maybe even Gimble's back there by now, and we can say hi to him too.
I need to give Alec Regina's necklace.
Okay, I think maybe that's a great. We don't want to go right. I mean, Baron isn't there technically. I mean, we don't know what we're going to find.
I was
So
gonna
maybe
say, aren't y'all talking about the same Baron that?
Yeah. Starting near Alex's place,
Maybe don't do that when we're over there.
and then we take it from there. I mean, starting near Alex's place, and then
Sure.
branch out from there, back to where we started.
We should maybe find Aurelius and figure out a way to get to Baron quickly. I do believe
Agreed.
the field of sunflowers was quite a ways from Baron.
It's true. Aurelius!
Oh,
What-
Aurelius will
bell.
come back through the door.
Zephyr, did you have anything to say?
I can go either way.
Insightful
So-
as always.
You made a decision.
Would you be able to get us to Baron?
Or around Baron.
Or around, maybe not. Well, yeah, not
Dribble says with a donut in his mouth.
around Baron. We're gonna kind of look for some devices, and if we happen to find some people that are under the influence at the same time, we can try and investigate that at the same time. But we also have some people we want to check on there as we go as well.
Certainly. Yeah, I can do the best I can, and we'll get you somewhere around there. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, did you have a map? You said you were going to have someone make me a map before we left.
Yes.
Perfect.
He will go back into the room and come back out swift steps and hand you a rolled up map that Stephanie will provide at a later date.
Fiverr only works so fast.
that will give you a layout of Dem Glemte. As I said, sometimes things are a little shifty, but generally that's their location. And do you have a map of your own?
Of Ozberghen?
Yes,
Doopy.
Do we?
I believe you do. Yes.
Then yes, we do.
Okay.
Who has it?
Can I?
Well, it's been a while. Maybe we can
Oh,
use
does
an updated
Kazeel have
version.
it? Did Kazeel have the map?
Sure,
Kazeel
we'll blame
probably had it.
Kazeel.
Because
All right,
probably
Kazeel
has
had
This
the
one
map.
you gave me is just so perfect and beautiful. You could
I
give
have-
me a better one than the one we had originally.
I have the map to the other continent.
To Ozberghen?
No, he
Oh,
has.
no, you have Victa.
No, I had
Completely
I
You
had
have
different,
Victa,
Victa.
yeah.
Oh man, I think Kazil had the map, but that's
Yeah.
just me.
It never hurts to have.
Well, okay. I don't have any maps of Ozberghen. He looks to Pixrin. But let me let Stephanie look on her map and see. I don't know the exact location, Pixrin, but you can find what we talked about last night. Near the Iberus Empire is the one that I know of. It doesn't mean it's the only temple there on the continent, but that's the best I can do. If I find an exact location until then, I'll let you know.
All right.
Okay. So, are we ready to go? And may I just
Sure.
say, if you, when you come back to Dem Glemte, we have a wonderful library that will be the first thing that you will want to see.
I am certainly intrigued.
It's definitely intriguing.
If Gerbils will take the teleporting orb, metal orb thing. Is anyone opposed? Me holding on to it. It's just
As long as you don't sit on it.
my belt has been a little bit. I feel it's a bit empty. I've carried it around for so long. I'll just
So sad.
wrap it up with a new blue
Too
soon.
so we don't have to change the key art.
Oh,
Are you
actually,
feeling lonely there?
actually, you'll be using that orb to get out of here.
Okay.
So bring it back out.
Okay.
Since we have all 7 of you together and you're here at the cafe, we can use this to transport out.
Do
Which
we
is
all have our
another thing I should pick up,
keys?
that if you you can use this again and it will take you here. But if you're here, you have to be back at the cafe in order to use it
jump out.
again. Okay. So take your keys and
Our launch keys. You know.
Now you won't have to go through quite the ordeal you did coming in, but you do have to hold on to the kind of as much as you can, clutch the key in your hand, and think about that memory that you gave your pearl before.
But what memory was that?
I don't know. The one you.
If we gave it
right.
away, do we remember what
Right.
it is?
That's correct. So what we'll need to do then is we'll need to take the pearls which all of you have your pearls, correct?
Yes.
Pearls
Yes.
before swine.
Gerbil tries to hold the pearl and the key and the orb.
It's just a small pearl. You can literally fit it in your hand with the key. And turn the key at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Wait. On 3 or on 3 after 3?
When I say
Can I grab one of those magical plates? Will it work on the other side?
no,
Right.
it will not. I'm so sorry, Pixar.
Like 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, turn on 3.
Wow.
How about
Oh.
on 3? When I say 3,
Oh.
turn the key. 1,
1, 3.
2, 3.
Ugh.
And as all of you turn the keys, you hear this little click. And
Creepy music
you
comes out.
feel the push and the pull of the transportation. You feel almost, even though I'm not going to have you roll Constitution saving throws, you feel a little queasy. But within the next moment, almost with a force of wind, you appear not too far out from the gates of Bornheim. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Yeah.
What a great port key experience.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was picturing. I was picturing us like holding onto a boot. Ah!
And of course, you have your memories back. So, and the pearl is
okay.
still in your hand. So,
Got it. I put it back in Pip's bag.
all
I
right.
remember the memory I put in, and I'm like, ooh, I feel awkward.
All right. So, thank you, players. It was a wonderful session. Thank you for chat, for hanging out with us this evening. You are the best. A few little announcements before we read over to someone. we launched our Patreon last weekend. So if
Bang.
you are, if you want to support the channel, it's a wonderful way to do so. Maybe even better than subscribing, because with doing this, you get a little bit back. We have a few levels there: $5, $10, $20, $50, and if you're feeling very fancy and just into it, $100 tier. But with each tier, you get all of the previous bonuses with the from the previous tiers. As well as some very neat stuff like original art, some downloadable art, movie nights, behind the scenes videos, so many things to get psyched about. We also have D&D on this channel several nights a week. On Mondays, which you've been watching The Forsaken now, at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, we have campaigns at 10 p.m. Eastern Time to 1 a.m. Eastern Time, all of those nights. Fridays, we have at 12 p.m. Eastern Time Mad Art with Steph, where Steph, do mad art for the different campaigns on the channel. If you haven't joined our Discord, please do so. We vote on art there and also discuss all kinds of other cool stuff. At Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we have another D&D 5e campaign, The Tower of Dreams, that Andrew DMs, which is a great time. Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time is Madbird Plays, which is hosted by Victoria, where Madbird community members, as well as members of other D&D communities and other communities, join in for some tabletop simulator and Jackbox fun. So, yeah. Let's head on over to raid someone. I think the role players are usually live about now. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna head over to the role players, give them some love, drop in, watch a bit of their campaign because they do a wonderful job. And there we go. So again, have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll see you again tomorrow. Tuesday is Curious Lament, which is the first campaign since the big crossover on Friday. So should be very interesting. Adios, folks. Have fun. Take care of yourselves. And we raid now. Caw-caw.